can a man who uses charms, talismans, enchantments, sorcery arts, listens to demons who speak behind idols, actually end up hearing from Yah, knowing who Yah is, and had the gift of prophecy? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 2, a Torah portion, Balak. We're still in Numbers, or Bamidbar, chapter number 22, and of course we're talking about Balam. A lot of interesting things going on here today. Let's just talk about some information that we may need to understand as we proceed in this storyline. Balak, whose name means waster or destroyer, he is indicative then of those who hate Israel. He is a military hero, if you will, of Midianite claim, who evidently, according to the sages and the rabbinical commentators say, was hired by the country of Moab when Israel and their army of over 600,000 men start showing up at the border. The two gatekeeper nations, which were headed by Og of Bashan and Sihon, king of the Amorites, these nations or city-states were guardians to the entranceway into the region, and they were soundly, completely, and totally defeated and destroyed. The gates are wide open, and here comes Israel. Something else to keep in mind is that during this entire scenario that is played out in this Torah portion, Moshe is not really mentioned. Matter of fact, Israel is oblivious to all the things that you and I are reading about. They're taking care of their own business. They're encamped. They're setting themselves in order. They're preparing for upcoming battles. Moab, it says, is in dread, and the word there, if I'm not mistaken, is kutz. It means that they're so sick of things and so upset about things that they are vomiting. This is not good for them. But Midian and Moab are all relatives of Abraham. Therefore, they are relatives of Israel. This is somewhat a family fight, but the difference being here is that while the Moabites and the Midianites would have known about Abraham and would have known about the covenant that Yah cut with him, they would also have known that all that Abraham had, including the covenant, was given to his son Yitzhak, to the exception of all other family members. Now, they would have been familiar with the ritual of circumcision, cutting away the flesh in order to walk in the Spirit, to receive the covenant, to be men marked for the covenant, such as Israel, but not such necessarily are the Moabites and the Midianites, and certainly probably not Balak. Balak realizes man for man, military might against military might, we're doomed. We have no chance. The only chance that we have is to go up against Israel's real authority and power, which is Moshe, a man of words. Moshe is well known, evidently, as a prophet. Not only a prophet, but the prophet. This is the man that is ascended to the Most High, who stands in the third realm of the heavens, who stands at the very throne of Elohim, and hears verbatim the very word of Yah, and comes back and quotes him verbatim, word for word. Not peeping, not muttering, not hearing voices in the middle of the night, not getting spooky dreams and trying to figure it out. He hears clearly what the creator of the universe is saying, and he gives that word exactly so to Israel, and they are benefited from it. Balak's only chance then is to find the best competitor for such a situation. And there's only one man for the job, Balam. Balaam's name means without a people. He is a prophet for hire among the Goyim. It just so happens that he demonstrates that he has a flair for the anti-Semitic. He is a prophet for profit. Profit, a prophet for profit. Show me the money. He consults talismans, he uses enchantments, he uses sorceries. He knows how to consult and deal with the spooky, mysterious, unclarified middle realm of the second heavens. Here angels, demons, and even men's prayers and wills are being found according to the sages. And he knows how to expertly wield his way through that and hear the best reconnaissance and inside information from whatever sources he believes he has. How do you stand up against such people? Well, we may boldly say, I'm born again. Don't have to worry about it. We talked about this yesterday. We believe erroneously at times. Well, because I prayed a prayer. And just the other day, I prayed in tongues. And I keep Shabbat. And I have extra long seat on my clothes. And I know the Creator's name in its correct pronunciation. And we have our own spiritual talismans. Now, I would not necessarily put the blood of Yeshua in that same situation, but you understand that there are those of us that we began to equate things. Being born again and being filled with the Spirit is vital and it's very important in our righteousness, our rising up and being able to defend ourselves against such things. But the greatest thing is Messiah likeness. It's not just that we've prayed a prayer and we are born again, that we walk in covenant with Him, that we're filled with the Spirit, but it's that we allow these things to benefit us in such a way as that we reflect the heart and the character of Yeshua. Let's ask this question. Is it possible for a believer to come under the effect of witchcraft? From my personal experience, the answer is yes. And in this respect, it's not guaranteed that one would succumb and yield to such influence, but one can certainly discern that they are under spiritual attack. I came across a book, and this is a much newer version. My older version is in ill repair after being read many times. But I hold before you a book called The Three Battlegrounds, written by a man named Francis Frangipan. Now, this is as I said, it's a newer version. It's not very expensive. You can find it online very easily. Again, the three battlegrounds. If you don't have this book, it's vital for everyone's personal library. You need this book, written way back in the 80s. In this book, he details dealing with spiritual warfare. Francis wrote another little booklet called Exposing Witchcraft that I have here. I've got many of these books in my office. It says that when a Christian is under the assault of witchcraft, several things will happen. He becomes increasingly disoriented and confused. He might even appear clumsy. He will feel emotionally drained or debilitated. He may have arousal of a number of inordinate fears that plague the mind. And when it comes to intercongregational issues, there may be issues of problematic relationships suddenly springing up. When Balam is practicing his stuff against us, we feel the attack, we feel the concussion of the bombs that are being let off. But putting on Messiah is our bomb shelter. I'll take this a couple steps further tomorrow. Until then, hang on and shalom.